Hi, this is Dale Buchanan, the host of Puppy Talk Podcast. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you know of my new book, The Complete Puppy Training Manual. It's available on Amazon in 4 formats: Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, and audiobook. You can find it on Amazon right now. It's called The Complete Puppy Training Manual, and I will put a link in the show notes of this episode. I'm Dale Buchanan, and this is Puppy Talk, the podcast that offers advice on how to raise a healthy, happy, and obedient puppy. This podcast is sponsored by Top Gun Dog Training. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast now so you don't miss a single episode of Puppy Talk. Welcome to Puppy Talk episode number 20. In this episode, I would like to talk about how to stop overstimulating your puppy. We hinted on this in the last episode with Laura Donaldson on how to relax your puppy. Now I want to go to the other end of the spectrum and talk about ways that you can stop overstimulating and overexciting your puppy. First of all, when I go to clients' homes and I do an evaluation of the puppy, they can be anywhere from 10 weeks old to 8 months old. And I don't know what I'm getting into anytime I take on a new client and start training a new puppy. So I have to do an evaluation and a consultation always before I start any new puppy training. The first thing that I usually observe when I go into the house is an overstimulated, overexcited, hyper puppy. This is almost 100% certain. Sometimes there are puppies that are very relaxed, but it's not very often. The first thing that I notice when I see this happening is that the owners are constantly talking to the dog or puppy. They're always giving commands. They're always trying to tell the puppy what to do and what not to do. And it will go something like this. Stop. No. Down. No. Go lay down. Sit. 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 Stop. No. Go lay down. Go. Why is my dog doing this? Oh, it's frustrating. Stop. No. Off, down, go sit, sit, sit. How do you think a puppy reacts from that? They are getting overexcited from all of that noise. Honestly, the puppy has no idea what you're saying. They don't know English. They don't know any language. They're getting overstimulated by constantly talking to the puppy. The first rule is to stop talking so much to your puppy. Last year, I wrote an article on TopGunDogTraining.com about why my dog doesn't listen to me. And in that article, I explain that that's often the case of owners talking to their dog constantly and the dog habituating. They block it out. In other words, I live near a train track. I hear the trains come every half an hour, 20 minutes. But after about a week, I don't even hear it anymore. I block it out. I'm used to it. I habituate it. I don't even know when the train has come and gone. It doesn't even register anymore. And that's what happens when owners constantly talk to their dog or puppy. The puppy or dog just blocks it out. The next thing that you want to do to not overstimulate your puppy is to stop playing with it so much. A lot of owners will say, I like to get on the floor, or I like to have the puppy on the couch, and I'm playing with it. I love playing with my puppy, but it bites me all the time. And I say, you're giving mixed signals to the puppy. You're inviting the puppy to play with you, but when they play like a puppy does, which is mouthing a lot, then you're telling them no. So the puppy's getting confused. When I go to a client's home and they're on the floor with their puppy, I get the owner to stand up and give some leadership to the puppy and have the puppy calmly go to a place or bed or a mat or somewhere and just stop. And when I go into a house and the puppy's going jumping and going crazy and running around, I don't say anything to the puppy. I just stand there. And within 20 to 30 seconds, the puppy's laying down right at my feet. And the owners say, how did you do that? I've never been able to do that. I said, 1, I wasn't talking to your puppy. 2, I wasn't inviting your puppy to play or get overstimulated. And 3, I did nothing. So I want the puppy to model me and also do nothing. And we talked about this in the last episode with Laura Donaldson on relaxing your puppy. If you're going to invite your puppy to be hyper, how can you get them to settle down once you've already invited them, which is usually a conflict from the owner. So try not to do that. The next thing is to make sure that your puppy has plenty of mental stimulation. Mental stimulation is going to be, initially, the dog training commands. Sit, down, stay, wait, leave it, drop it, and so forth. You want to do a circuit training with your puppy once they learn a few commands. You could say to the puppy, come, sit, down, stay, and then back up 5 feet. Have them stay for 10 seconds and then repeat that again about 5 rounds. You do that of 5 rounds, and the puppy is going to start to get mentally tired. When the puppy gets mentally tired, they're going to be more relaxed. When they're going to be more relaxed, they can't be overstimulated and hyper. So we've got one end of the spectrum, relaxed, the other end of the spectrum, overstimulated and hyper. We want to not do things that are going to reinforce that hyper behavior. If you have a yard and you let the puppy out in your yard, the puppy has to be supervised. It should be on a leash. It should be with you, doing training, doing calming exercises. It's a big mistake to let your puppy out in your yard alone and do anything at once, because it's going to bring that energy inside the house. And then you have to work extra hard to get that puppy to relax again. I prefer, if I'm going to get a puppy very stimulated, very excited, and do something where the puppy is going to exert a lot of their physical and mental energy, is I take it away from the house, apartment, yard, or general area where it's usually going for walks. I take it to a dog park. I take it to an open field with a 30 or 50-foot leash and some toys. Do something outside of your yard or house where it can have fun, exhaust itself if necessary, and get a lot of mental stimulation and enrichment. But those two are also contradicting. See, your compound, that is your yard, house, porch, front yard, front porch, is all a compound that your dog should learn to be relaxed. When I had Spalding, he was a Lab Husky mix, and I owned a house. I owned a couple of houses when I had him. He would go to the front yard and just lay down. And I could work on my car, I could work on the yard or the garden, and he would just lay down and relax in the sun and do nothing. I taught him that at a very early age. I taught him to relax. And he did. He didn't want to run away. He didn't cause any problems. He didn't react to people or dogs or cars going by down the road. And he had no issues with being zen and relaxed and chill. And that's what you want to instill in your dog. When your dog gets overstimulated and you have to work extra hard to bring them back down and calm them down, then you're just creating an atmosphere that's confusing to the dog and the puppy, and they don't understand what it is that you want. In review, if you want to stop your dog from being overstimulated, hyper, and too excited, there are 4 steps. 1, stop talking so much to your puppy. Allow them to be calm without commands. Allow them to figure out, through association, classical conditioning, how to be calm without overstimulating them with a lot of commands. Number 2, stop inviting puppy onto the floor and onto the couch and onto the bed to play very heavily, and then get mad at them when they bite you too much because you're sending mixed signals. Number 3, do mental stimulation, which is dog training in circuit training format, with your puppy on a regular basis to mentally tire them out, and you're giving them a job to do. Number 4, Hard exercise, physical exercise needs to be done away from the house, the front yard, and the backyard. Take it to a field, take it to a dog park where it can have fun and run off leash or on a 30 or 50-foot leash and get that physical exercise, but not in your house or yard. I hope these tips help to stop overstimulating your dog so much. Combine this with episode number 18, which is Puppy Relaxation with Laura Donaldson, and you've got a win-win situation. Remember to visit puppytalkpodcast.com, where you can buy me a coffee, see all episodes of our show, and even leave us a review. Thanks, and have a great day.
This is Dale Buchanan, host of Puppy Talk Podcast. I have an announcement of a new book that I just published called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback, soon to be available on audiobook. You can find out all the details of this book using the link in the show notes. It's called Potty Training Your Puppy. It's a comprehensive book with a simple and effective way to help potty train your puppy. And it really works. Check out the link in the show notes.